I'm Truyman, and I train the world's best athletes. Surfers, snowboarders, golfers, tennis players, every sport imaginable, except for shooting. I have 10 weeks to take high school senior Reagan Tyler and make her into the best athletic shooter that she can be.
And I'm veteran Green Beret sniper instructor Wayne Walding.
Remember your trigger squeeze.
And I figured if I could teach a few hundred Afghanis how to shoot without a lick of English, I ought to be able to do something with Reagan.
This is I Am Forever. Before the season started, we sat down together and mapped out all the qualities of an athletic shooter. There's a reason why this first episode is really about mental focus. If you don't really master and unlock your mind, it's very hard to get your body to follow. And I think Reagan certainly has a good foundation, but there's a lot of areas for improvement as well that I saw in her baseline performance.
Right, I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what they teach us in the military, is to block out everything around you and focus on the task at hand.
Exactly, and you can't really unlock the physical performance until you've unlocked the mental side. You see the same thing in a lot of different sports. You see a whole team's physical body language slump when they start losing, and I think to a certain extent we saw a lot of this with Reagan as well.
Miss, 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 miss.
Oh. But instead of being able to kind of reset, I saw her frustration sort of snowball into the next shot. She wasn't taking her time.
Remember, slow aim fire. We're in no hurry.
Miss.
Shoot. So to help her improve in her mental focus and her acuity, this week I took her to do some yoga. Let's take a look at what she did.
Hello, I'm Chanel Mergerson. I teach group and private yoga. I've been doing this full-time for about 6 years. So the practice of yoga is really threefold. We have pranayama, which is breath work. We have asana, which is the physical work, and we have meditation. All these things, when done at the same time, creates the ability within yourself to have mental focus.
One of the fundamental aspects of athletic shooting is the ability to focus. You know, if you don't sort of unlock the mind and its ability to hone in on its goal, it's very difficult to do anything else.
And what yoga does is it brings us inward. So this hurricane could be moving around us, but yet we are very, very focused on what it is that we're about to do. I'm throwing you right in there. The pose that I'm going to be teaching you is the seated breathing meditation pose. You're gonna feel your spine grow nice and tall as you take a big breath in. And what you're gonna start to notice is your heart rate starts to slow down. The mind chatter gets a little bit quieter, and you start to become very focused. And this is the place that you wanna be as an athlete as you move forward in whatever sport that you play, but especially in what you're doing. Mental focus is very fundamental. So now that I have taught you the deep breathing to help move you into that mode of mental focus, I'm going to be teaching you how to connect the breath with movement. So often when we start moving, we lose concentration on the breath, and that's our main focus as we move through a physical practice, is really about how to control the breath, because the breath controls the mind. And since our focus here is moving you into mental focus at all times, no matter what you're doing, it's important that you train yourself to be able to breathe through movement. So we've talked about creating a centeredness and a mental focus by using the breath. And then we've taken the breath and movement and put them together. And now we're just gonna take it to the next level. But what we're going to do is focus on visualizing what's about to happen, making that happen. It's a fast movement, and then deciding, using your mental focus and your mind, when to stop. Besides just the mental focus that you're getting from this, you're also learning how to control your body, and you're learning how to move with the breath, which is super important for what you're going to be doing.
So it's kind of like creating the visualization in your mind, and then committing to it physically.
Yes, seeing it in action.
Connecting the dots.
Next one is a crow pose. This pose requires you to focus on the breath, okay, and then move forward and focus on body control, because body control is so important.
Nice job.
Breathe deep. Breathe. You've got it. You've got it. It's amazing. That's okay. I had many red burns on my face from that pose, so
You were nice and relaxed.
She did it.
I was trembling a lot. You know what John and Brady keep saying, like, eye muzzle target? And it seems sort of similar. It's like the visual, and then the relaxation, and then the physical. It takes practice, though. I learned a lot.
Me too. That was awesome.
Awesome. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out.
So that was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is there something that you feel like you really took away from it?
I think just focusing on finding that center and finding that calm breath again.
It's kind of like recognizing all the different stressors throughout your life, and instead of letting them affect you, always applying this lesson of breathing and relaxing so that no matter what's going on, you're always performing at your best.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna practice the crow. I found myself getting really frustrated during that, like practicing that, because I don't have that wrist strength, so.
It seemed like they were tender and kind of painful.
Yeah.
The thing that I saw to be sort of the biggest area for improvement is really your ability to see what you want to have happen and then absolutely commit to it so that your body will just follow naturally.
Yeah, and like being that competitive and not getting it the first time, you know, that's when I need to apply the breathing.
I think that breathing and focus and just being in control of your emotions is really fundamental to every sport, and especially shooting. If she practices these things this week, then I do believe that next week we'll see some immediate improvements. She'll be able to recognize that she's stressed out and immediately go through the checklist of breathe deep, calm down, focus on my goal, and then execute.
I've been trying to stay late after my yoga classes to try and get some extra practice in. And, you know, having that mental focus out of the range is really important, and I hope it's going to pay off.
And go from target to target, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. You want to look to where you're going and then bring your sights to your eye. Since Reagan is a relatively new shooter, Brady and I have spent some time going over the basics: fundamental grip, stance, and safety. Everything you need to know to be a good shooter. I wanted to make sure she had a good foundation before we got to the more advanced drills.
So we're out here at Be Tactical. We're gonna do most of our work out here. Tonk is here with us. He's here to back me up with anything that I miss, but he's also gonna keep the round count. First drill is gonna be mental focus, and I think Isaiah had you doing something to concentrate on that, right?
Yeah, we did some yoga. We did a lot of focusing on being successful and seeing myself be successful, because when you do fail, it's pretty tough to kind of get yourself out of that rut you get in. You're kind of frustrated, but it was really easy to find your center when we did all this breathing. It really helped you bring it back and not really dwell on mistakes and on failures.
Okay, that ties directly to what we're doing.
Reagan doesn't know what's coming, but you will. We're going to run a simple drill 3 times from the 15-yard line, just knocking down 6 pod plates. The catch is she'll have a different distraction to work through each time. First, we'll detonate targets all around her. Next, she'll have to ignore the 19-degree temperature and knock down her targets wearing just a tank and shorts. For the final drill, we'll put everything together: explosions, loud bangs, bitter cold, machine guns, and lots of adrenaline.
All right, Reagan, lock and load. Begin. There you go. Front sight. Slack out. There you go. Last one. Good job. Cease fire.
All right, Reagan, go ahead. Load, make ready. Begin. Hit. Miss.
Slow it down. Slack out, aim, press.
Miss.
Slack, aim. There you go. There, good job. Block clear. So is that a little distracting?
A little.
Yeah, I pulled that out of my repertoire of suck fest in the military, where you're out there and it's cold and wet, and it's hard to stay in that bubble whenever it's freezing, right?
Hard to keep from shaking.
Yeah, like right now.
Like
so
right now.
You really want me to shut up so we can get out of here, right? Well, if you think this sucks, I got the grand finale here, and we're gonna call it Welcome to the Thunderdome. We're gonna crank it up. We're gonna go full crazy and do it right. You ready? Let's do it. All right, Reagan, load your mag. Shooter ready.
Ready.
Begin.
It's not exploding.
There you go. There you go. There it is. Slow it down.
Exploding.
Slow it down. There you go. You can do it. Last one. Reload. There, good job. Lock it clear. The things that we worked on today, you can see that there's a lot of things that you must do in order to be a good shooter, especially staying in that bubble, right? With the mental focus. You know, one of the things I saw you need to work on is your magazine reloads, right? Whenever you get out of a magazine, you just turn your brain off and you kind of go admin. You're like, well, yeah, what now? Right? You need to stay focused, stay in the game, and when you see it locked to the rear, put more pew-pew in there and keep rocking. We'd like to thank Be Tactical for coming and letting us come out. This is a great range, and we got a lot of good stuff out here. Tatanka, way to blow stuff up as usual.
Boom.
He's a talker. Next week, we're gonna work on your center of gravity. Just like you had to stay in your bubble, well, whenever you're shooting multiple targets, you gotta make sure that you keep your legs underneath your head and keep moving forward. So we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna have a good time.
So as you saw, we had a lot to distract her, right? You know, I took that obviously directly from my past, experiences as a Green Beret. We've been in that predicament to where you got machine guns going left and right, to where you're cold and you're wet, and she did good. She did a great job staying with it. If you talked to her afterwards, she even said that that was the first time she even been around machine guns and explosions like that. So we definitely shook her up a little bit.
Obviously very unsettling, a lot of external forces distracting. So for that reason, what I'd like you to do at home this week as viewers is practice a very simple thing called breathing and potentially visualization. All you really need to do is sit calmly and basically try not to engage your thoughts. Simplify what's going through your brain. Don't let your thoughts control you, control your thoughts. 5 minutes is plenty of time. Sit quietly, breathe, and really just try and get to a place of stillness where you are in control. Then once you get familiar with that, you can kind of reconnect in that space in a very sort of distracted setting. So to help demonstrate how to do this properly, we've invited Darren and Collion from the Noir Show to demonstrate what it's like.
What are you doing?
I'm meditating and visualizing.
Why?
Because we're going shooting this afternoon, and I want to be a better shooter, and every good athlete does this. Every professional athlete does this.
Please explain to me how meditating has anything to do with shooting.
Okay, sit up here. I know it's going to be close and uncomfortable, but we're going to relax and visualize and meditate a little bit. So what I want you to do is just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and you're gonna visualize yourself at the range so you have a perfect foundation, perfect stance. So you feel at peace now, you feel confident. This stuff works, I know.
Your reaction?
My reaction is Darren looked like the monkey from Lion King. That's all I got.
So next week, we are gonna take Reagan to work on her center of gravity through mixed martial arts. She's gonna work with Guy Metzger, who's a former UFC champion. It should be really good. Tune in, check it out. Next week on I Am Forever.
You're gonna lay your hand here like this, okay?
Okay.
Jab. I'm gonna come here now, I'm gonna attack. Boom, throw the cross right back here.
Reset every time, same shot sequence.
Hit.
Perfect, there you go.